sitting in the gallery. And by California Constitution, when they're in session, the public is allowed in here. And I think I mentioned earlier, before September, for 5 years, we have not been able to bring our groups in here unless we were in session and we couldn't really interpret. So glad we get to come back in here. We always had our keys. We kept our keys. Because I love the church of this room, and I'm going to talk about that painting shortly. So down below is called the chamber. So if you are a senator, a family member, the area below here, below you guys, staffers, family members, invited guests are only allowed, but only senators typically on the floor. Occasionally we do get permission to take groups down there. But take a look at those desks. I think someone was commenting on the desks downstairs. These desks are original to the building from 1869. So January 1st, 2026, if you're from California, I'm sure you're going to be studying all the hundreds of new bills. There's a lot. Usually if he vetoes them or we haven't had a female governor yet. Let's see what happens next year. Typically it's because it's redundant, there's one already like it, or it does not fit into the budget. That's typically why they veto. Downstairs in our bill room, when they are in session and the committees, we need to pick up their agenda for the day, what meetings, what their agenda is when they're in session. So that'll explain that to you. Now here they do a traditional roll count vote. I don't see anybody working down there. You see the blackboard at the front of the room. When they're getting ready to vote, all the members' names will be posted on there electronically. Now I'm going to point to this middle section. The clerk will stand there. These white tabs have all the members' names. When they are asked to vote, either aye or nay, yes or no, the clerk, if it's a yes vote, he'll push the green tab. Red vote, a red vote and a no vote. Red tab. And it will be posted on the board exactly how each member voted. So you can see how every member voted on a particular bill or resolution. In the assembly, they do it totally different. We'll talk about that. And now, can you see the gold above the blackboard? That is in Latin, and it translates to it is the duty of the senators to protect the civil liberties of the Commonwealth, or you could say Republic. That's the senators. And then above that, of course, our first president of the United States, George Washington. This painting has had an incredible journey here. It was painted by a woman in 1850, Jane Stewart. But it is not signed by her. Women typically couldn't or wouldn't sign their work back then. Later in 1850, it takes a 13,000-mile journey here to California. It leaves Boston Harbor on a maiden voyage of the ship named the Tagus. It goes down the East Coast and all the way to Cape Horn, South America. I actually found an article. It was spotted off of Cape Horn. Came up the West Coast, coming into the San Francisco Bay. The ship ran aground. That was basically in the hull of a ship for several months. You could say because it was beached. Salvagers went to see what was in the ship. They are quoted as saying when they saw that painting, "Oh, the likeness of George Washington," and they actually refused payment for saving that painting. Have you heard that? I've never heard that. Okay, there's more to it. This is my favorite thing. That's the oldest artifact in the building. So then it comes after they salvage it. It comes here to Sacramento. It's hanging in our courthouse downtown. This building's not even started yet. July 13, 1854, a massive fire breaks out here in Sacramento. Citizens, instead of putting fires out in their own homes and businesses, ran in and saved this painting. So this painting has survived a shipwreck and it was pulled from a burning building. To me, it represents perseverance, never giving up. And the frame did come with it. And you see the era gold. That's the good stuff. That's just 1840, 1850. Now, above that, you're in this area. That is Minerva. This baby was like really small, where she's gone. You guys can see she's that was made by Michael Casey. Now let's take a look at the ceiling above her heads. They did have a little lower the ceiling in the early 1900s when they added the fourth floor, about 6 feet. You guys see my red dot here? Okay, this is called the egg and arrow or egg and dart pattern. It also represents life and death, like that black and white marble tile below. In the gallery now below is also the chambers, and yes, those desks are also original to the building from 1869, built by John Brunner. He was a German immigrant, and those desks are modeled after school desks, and he had in Germany. The lid does lift up with their storage inside. Now in here, they have an electronic voting panel, upper right-hand corner of each desk. Originally installed in the 1930s. It has been updated. So, can you see, if you guys on the side can see, there are blackboards at the front of the room. All the members' names are lit up in alphabetical order. And here we have 80 assembly members that serve a 2-year term, and each represent close to 500,000 people each. Did I explain in the Senate there's 40 senators?
No.
No. That represent close to 1 million people each. California is almost to 40 million people. You can tell by the traffic out there, can't you? And California is the fourth, just the state of California is the fourth leading economy in the entire world. You got the United States, China, Japan, California, and Germany. Above that blackboard in the middle, that's also shiny gold written in Latin. That's the Assembly Members' motto. Translates to it as the duty of the legislators to make just laws. You can also interpret it as fair laws. And then, yes, our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. You know, I was thanking for my job when I'm in here. He didn't hire me personally. I'm old. Well, not that old. But in 1864, he signed the Yosemite Land Grant Act, which was the very first state park or national park in the entire country. Yosemite and Mariposa Grove. I was just reading about the first guide or ranger there, Galen. And so that helped start state parks, 1864. I work for state parks, so that's why I would say thank you. And then he also signed the Transcontinental Railroad Act. You know, before they built the Transcontinental Railroad, it would take 6 months to get here by ship from the East Coast. Once the railroad was complete, it took it down to 1 week. It changed the world. Now, all of us guys also work at the Leland Stanford Mansion. Highly recommend going to visiting. It's just about 3 blocks from here. They give free tours something every hour. Leland Stanford was their 8th governor of California, and also the founder and president of the Senate. it passes both houses, then it goes to the governor.
Pretty much all falls and the schools get it. Getting back to the history of the building before I start talking about the memorials and markers in the park, you might wonder what is going on out there. If you've been inside the building, you probably noticed how there's these large archways and there's walls in them. The hallways just suddenly stop. They don't usually do that. The reason for that is because of this project. The original East Annex, which was constructed shortly after the Second World War because of the huge population growth in the state. We went from around 7 million people in 1940 to 9.6 million by war's end. So that's a 30% increase in just 5 years. We needed more state officials. They needed more that they memorialized actually did it. Sometimes at the cost of limbs or life itself. The Liberty Bell, imagine it's there. Liberty Bell is just really, I mean, maybe the Statue of Liberty, maybe in general, the bald eagle is like the symbol of American democracy. All right, we are in the Civil War Memorial Grove. This is the largest memorial in Capitol Park. It is also the oldest memorial in Capitol Park. This was founded originally in 1897 by a woman, or she had the idea for it, named Eliza Wagner Holloway, and she had